Evening and welcome to the FITT Show. I'm Bobby Kinzer, and soon my partner Thomas Doty will be getting online in a minute. But we are the FITT Show, financial information for today and tomorrow. We'd like to welcome everybody. This is our 147th show, and we try to provide as much information as we can to help people with their finances. Welcome, Dote. Glad to see you can make it there, Governor.
But you leaving me out.
No. Good to see you there, Governor. How are you doing today?
And I am doing fantastic. So happy to be alive.
That is good to hear.
How are you, my man?
So good to hear. I'm actually fantastic. Just to be on another day above ground is great, Dote. Despite getting old, it beats alternative. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. Let's not talk about getting old. That's not the subject.
Yeah, okay, we leave that alone. But I'm thankful, man, because if I was like I was at 22, I wouldn't want to be there, man. I was young, dumb, and full of you know what. So I'm glad that I'm past that at this age. So there comes wisdom with age. And with that, we're going to bring you some wisdom on our show today because we're trying to help people understand about building wealth. And remember, wealth is just the absence of economic anxiety. When you have wealth, it seems
new.
Like
I never heard that.
Yeah, that's my new one, though. It just seems like you're so much, life is so much better. And when you're making passive income as opposed to compensation for working, it's totally different because there's a lot of pressure working for somebody else or working for yourself. But when you have your money working for you and you don't have to do nothing, which is called passive income, stocks and bonds and IRAs and 401ks, you have money working for you and you're not doing nothing. That's the ultimate, you all. And that's what we want to try to give you some information so that you too can to that mainstream where you can, live and do what you want, when you want, how you want, and with who you want. And it all comes with the decisions you make and the choices you make and handling your money. Remember, a lot of people try to say money, they really say money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money is the root of all evil. Money is neither negative or positive. It's atypical. It's what you do with it. And we hope we provide you with some tips on how to go out there and manage your money a lot better. So with that, Dope, last week we talked about why a Roth IRA. Dope, you taught me some things, man, I didn't even think about as far as, because I still have a gig where I got income coming in, and that's the only way that you can contribute to an IRA or Roth. But even if you're older and retired, if you have income coming in, you can still use that Roth to your advantage. And Dope, I didn't even think about that. I mean, that was just such a great.
But it's sad, Bob. So there's so many things we don't know. And I'm learning as I go too. And it's just so many ways you can save money. And just the thought to get money that you don't have to pay tax on anymore and that it can grow tax-free, that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing, not to have to worry about paying taxes. And if you can take advantage of it, try to find a way to do that. Try to minimize your taxes. Because like we always say, we're never going to try to cheat the government, but you want to minimize your taxes if you can.
And that's when you get older and when you get close to retirement, even in retirement, the whole game is really tax management. You're trying to, like you say, pay as little as you have to. I mean, you can't get away from paying Uncle Sam. And I know some people, get mad about that. But, if you want to ride down that road, you want to cross that bridge and it ain't falling down, it's worth it. We got to pay something.
And Bob, well, we always talk about wealth. Growing wealth is difficult and complicated, and there's so many variables, and tax is a big part of it. So if you can minimize that, you're going to help yourself in the long run.
And the name of the game is to read, educate yourself, research. Just don't take somebody says something. That's why I talk to my kids all the time about critical thinking. Critical thinking is about reasoning. It's making somebody tell you something, the sky is green, ask them why you think the sky is green. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. But that's what the show is all about, y'all. We're trying to provide information. As you saw the disclaimer, we're not investment advisors. We're not certified financial advisors or certified financial planners, but we are financial educators. And we try to provide you with much information that you can actually apply to your real life situation, and hopefully it raises, your wealth, and it actually helps you understand about generational wealth, so you can leave something for your kids. Because we always say this, because a lot of people try to say, "Yo, man, it's easy, it's simple." No, building wealth is hard. And it takes time, it takes patience. So let's just be real with it. But if you put the time in, yeah, the reward let's take it away. Let's say that it's complicated, right? Take away the hard. It's complicated, but like everything, if you take the time and learn the basics of it, then that can help you at least be able to navigate through the financial mainstream. Just want to remind everybody, please click on the button and the heart button. That helps gives us more exposure to more people. That's how Facebook works. And make subscribe out to YouTube. That also helps us too. The other thing is we use the comment box as our way to interact with the people out there. And we got people all around America and all around the world, Australia and Scotland and England. And we can communicate with, so put some comments. If you have an opinion or anything we're talking about, or question about what we're talking about, put it in the comment box, and that's how we can be interactive with you. So we look forward to you doing that. Dope. So last week we took a beating, but let's start with our top topic of the FITT Show, which everybody loves, the stock market.
Yeah, I wish I had some better news for you. It's kind of...
Oh, no, please don't say that. So,
and it's kind of backwards, because the economy is strong. The economy is strong. And so inflation is still higher than the Fed wants it to be. And so as long as that's out there, the Fed's not, the thought of the Fed lowering interest rates is starting to disappear. And this has been a volatile week. There's been some big ups and some big downs. At one point today, the Dow was down 600 points. NASDAQ was down over 200 points. And it kind of tempered a little bit from that. But you can see for the week, the Dow is actually up almost 1%. NASDAQ's basically flat. Microsoft is down 5%, but they just announced earnings after close today, and they beat expectations. And so I expect that stock to go up tomorrow. Tesla had a big jump. It's been going down like crazy. But Elon Musk came out and announced that they're going to have an electric car for about $25,000, and they expect to start delivering it in 2025. Now, he's made a lot of promises. I think that Cybertruck was due a while ago, and it just came out this year. So it remains to be seen if he's going to meet that goal. But that tended to push their stock up because it had been on a free fall. They lowered prices. Some of the other EV stocks had gone down, and that kind of saved him. So you wonder if he just pulled that out of his sock, or if it's really going to happen in 2025. Apple's pretty much staying where it is, still facing big challenges in China. Pfizer's flat. NVIDIA has been on a roller coaster. It's been up and down. It was up huge today, but it was down. I think it went down 95 points one day, but still way up over where it was. Google's still hanging in at 158. So market's going to continue to be volatile until the Fed gets the inflation numbers under control. And right now the numbers are looking still slightly high. And so the chances for an interest rate reduction seems to be slipping away. So that's where we are.
Well, though my gold is down a little bit, but all in all, it's up. It's up over $2,300 an ounce, and silver is really doing well. Silver is up to $27 an ounce. So the precious metals are doing pretty well actually through this. Pretty interesting. Hey, Doe,
we're gonna try to remember. Yeah. I bought that gold. I bought a gold mutual fund on, I think it was April 14th or April 15th. It was the last day I could open that Roth. I put it into a Roth account.
Right.
And I put $7,500 in there in two accounts, $7,500 a piece in each, and it's up to $77.84 now. So we'll keep track and see how that. And it's actually a precious metals. It's not just gold. It's a precious metal mutual fund through Fidelity. We'll keep track and see how it does.
Okay, cool. Hey, Doe, when you talked about Tesla, Elon Musk talked about selling a car for $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
I always remembered in the class, a teacher was telling us about supply and demand and supply chain and production, and he said that an airplane, right, is put together with 52,000 parts, but the contract goes to the lowest bidder. And he always say, I wonder what part they cut out to be able to get that contract. So with Tesla dropping that car to $25,000, I wonder what they're cutting back on.
Yeah, and you wonder what the range would be if it loses some range. And most of the Teslas are technological marvels, so you wonder if it'll be a little more bland, not have all the technology flash that the current Teslas have. And they're not ultra luxurious. They're not like a Mercedes or the Jaguars or BMWs, but they have a level of luxury, but it's not to the level of, let's say Mercedes. So you wonder if they're just going to bring that all down. But I don't see it, but Elon Musk has said he's going to do it, so we shall see.
And one thing we will see over time. Yeah. So let's go to our second top topic, cryptocurrency. And the market cap for total cryptocurrency is up by 81 billion. That's 3%. And the Bitcoin is back up, $868 per Bitcoin. It was at $63,634 last week. Now it's at $64,502. It's up 14%. That's a good jump there, though. And then you got Ethereum, which is the smart contract, which is supposed to be a little bit more structured better. That's the theory. And it's up 3%. It's up to $3,157. Now, Tether, which is a stable coin, is pegged to the dollar, so they say. But some of them is dollar and some assets. But at least compared to cryptocurrencies, which are not collateralized or backed by anything, this is that's what the Tether doesn't move fast, doesn't grow as fast as the other cryptocurrencies, but it's down by 1 cent. And then we've been tracking Solana, and Solana is up $1, and Dogecoin has moved back up from the number 10 spot to the 9 spot, but it stayed at 15 cents per Dogecoin. At one time, Dogecoin was way up there. At least it was $1, and it was holding. It hasn't reached those highs in a while. Yeah. So though, what is that you got that you want to share with us, man? There's something else that I think you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Just because there's a scam, and I think I mentioned it last week, but it was a turnpike, and I had driven through Cleveland and Pennsylvania from Jersey, visiting my grandkids to pick up my mom to bring her down here for her birthday. And I got a text saying I owed $12 on the PA turnpike.
You breaking up for some reason, though. Hey, Joe, can you hear me? You're breaking up for some reason. Hold on for a minute, though. Let me see if I can clear that up for a minute. Let me go to the board and see. Okay, continue, though.
Okay, and so I thought, man, that is a great scam, and I know a lot of people are going to fall for it. And the PA Turnpike Commission actually put out a letter saying it is a scam. And then I saw
hold up. You have to go. Hold up. You have to go back because when you were explaining what it was you were cutting off. So explain what the scam was on the turn.
Is it clear now?
Yes, it is.
We're okay? Okay. No, I mentioned I had gone through Pennsylvania and I got a text about owing $12 on the PA Turnpike. And I thought, well, maybe my Easy Pass didn't work, but and it's actually the same thing because they have a toll road. So I'm thinking, man, that's a scam that I know is going to get some people. So I just wanted to just remind you, there's certain things you can do to not get scammed. And I just want to keep reminding, I hope you guys don't get tired of this, but this is just a quick do's and don'ts. And it's real simple. Don't accept calls if you don't know who it is. You got caller ID on your cell phone. If you don't know who it is, don't answer it. If it's somebody important, they'll leave a message. And if they're saying they're from your bank or from your insurance, call the number on the back of the credit card or call the number on your insurance card. Don't give out your information. Number 2, keep your passwords updated. I know that.
Hey, Doe. Hey, Doe, can you hear me, Doe? Hey,
I can hear you clearly.
No, you and people are sending me text talking about you breaking up, so I can hear you. So, Doe, can you go out and click in, please?
Okay, I'll do that.
And I'll talk to you because you keep breaking up.
Okay, I'll go out.
Come back in. Okay, come back in. Okay, yeah. So what Doe was talking about was this oh, let me go. So yeah. So with Doe, let me follow back up what Doe was talking about, and we'll see when he comes back in. So what he was saying was, don't fall for these scams, man, because it's so many things. But the way that you can prevent yourself again is keep your passwords updated. Don't be trying to use your birthdays and stuff like that. Whatever you do, don't use birthdays and pet names and stuff like that. And keep your passwords updated. Second, sign out of your financial apps on your phone. When you go to an app, if you're on a banking app, make sure you sign out of that app. Hold on for a minute. Let me bring Dope back in.
Hey, how's it now? Is it clear?
Much clearer.
Okay, cool. Where'd you leave off?
I just did number 2. Keep your passwords updated.
Yeah, and if you're in your financial apps, your banking app on your phone, make sure you sign out. So if you lose your phone, people can't get your financial information. And by the same token, make sure you keep your eyes and your hands on your phone if you have financial apps on there, because that's another rule, another trick people use. They work in teams and a person will ask to use your phone because they've lost their phone or they need to make a phone call. And then somebody else will get your attention and they make off with your phone and they're already logged in and they can wreak havoc in your life. And so number 4 says, be skeptical. Don't trust anybody when it comes to your financial stuff. Keep your cool. Don't panic and make a decision. Like you get something that says you owe money. Don't, stay cool and calm. You know what you owe. Don't automatically react to it. And don't ever feel pressured to give your information out or to provide information to people. keep your wallet and your purse safe, and make sure you don't carry anything in there that you don't need. You don't need to walk around with your Social Security card. You know, only carry credit cards that you're going to use. Just try to keep that as narrow as possible to limit your loss in case you do lose your wallet or your purse. Monitor your credit report. We've told you 100 times, you can get one credit report from each of the 3 reporting agencies once a year. And we recommend getting one every 4 months from a different agency. So every 4 months, you can take a look at your credit report. Number 7, use those alerts on your banking activities, you know, your credit cards, your bank accounts. Make sure you're getting a text when you hit your credit card, okay? Make sure you do that because you want to know what's happening with your money. And finally, this is one I always laugh when I see people getting birthday wishes on social media, because that's the kind of information crooks are looking for your birthday.
Right.
And I used to tease my kids about putting out when they're out of town. Some people want to know when you're not home. So, you know, if you can set your social media settings on private, only your friends can see your activity. And sometimes you can't trust them either. So just be careful. We don't want to see you get scammed. Okay.
No, that's good talk though, because we can't talk enough about watching out for scams, because you know why though? It's like every week they're coming out with a new scam, you know, every day. So we can never talk about that enough, that you all protect your information. And this is the thing, you all, because my partner Steve Bond talks about this all the time. Oh man, we're going to be held hostage by technologies. It's nothing you can do. To resist is fruitful, but what you can do, you can try and do as much as you can to prevent them from getting your information. You can't totally stop 100%, y'all. This is me. Face it, that's the world we're in today, right? But you can protect and prevent some of them and make it harder for them. And like I said, stop using them passwords, you know, with your pets' names and stuff like that. You know,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So, let's talk about our subject today. Don't cancel that card. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, hopefully we've talked some people into reducing their credit card usage and not charging things you don't need or you don't really have to have. You don't have, buying things you don't need to impress people who don't care, right? And so maybe you're thinking you have a credit card that you got on a whim, or it was a deal going on at a store and you got a 10% off if you open the credit card, and you're trying to get your credit card life in order. So you think about canceling that card. But sometimes that can cause more harm than good. And there's steps you need to take before you automatically cancel that card. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't realize that with credit, older is better. Now, the average age of your credit card accounts and the age of your oldest account also affects your scores, although the impact is not nearly as large as when we talk about credit utilization rate. Having a shorter credit history can harm your scores because lenders prefer borrowers with long record and on-time payments. Now, the impact of closing an account depends on which credit scoring formula is used. Like FICO, a lot of people heard of FICO, I Corporation. They're the ones who actually calculate the score. People don't know this, but the 3 credit bureau agencies, they don't calculate the score. They just collect the data. It's FICO that actually has the most commonly used formula. There's several different agencies out there that do your credit score, like Credit Karma and Credit Sesame. But FICO is the one that's most commonly used by vendors. Now, continue to use, both. FICO uses both for open and closed accounts and calculating the age of the accounts. And there's another one called Vantage Score, which is now a lot of credit companies allow people to have that. And actually, Vantage Score was created by the 3 credit bureaus, but then they farmed it out to a private agency. But that's another score that they look at now, and it's the rival of FICO. But the thing is, closing an account may reduce the average age of credit accounts and potentially lower your score. So, credit is a great asset, but when you use it incorrectly, it can cost you a pretty penny. And we just want to talk about, starting off talking about why you should not close that.
Yeah, and if you do, you got to worry about taking care of your credit score, and that's the big hit that you can take when you cancel a credit card. And there is a way to do it that won't negatively impact your score. And so you can reduce the damage by paying down all your credit card balances, not just the one you plan to close. And you ask, well, why do the other credit cards matter? Well, it all comes down to your credit utilization. And that's how much credit you have available versus how much you're using. And so, a quick example, let's say you only have 2 credit cards and they both have a $1,000 credit limit. You pay off one, so it has a 0, but the other one you owe $1,000. So if you cancel the card with the 0 balance, or before you cancel the card, your credit utilization is 50% because you have $2,000 in available credit and you owe $1,000 on that one credit card, 0 on the other. So if you cancel the one with the 0 balance, your credit utilization jumps to 100% because you only have $1,000 available credit and you owe $1,000. So that's why you have to take a look before you cancel that card and make sure you credit utilization.
And it's important to pay attention to that credit utilization, you all. Is also called the limit ratio. And because your score could go down, and they say it's around, and nobody knows exact, because FICO always has this secret black box. They never let nobody know what the actual, how they calculate the scores. I don't know why it's so mysterious, but they say you should keep your credit utilization rate below 30%. And if it goes over it, it can actually affect your score. But that's the top of another day. Now, the surprising impact on credit history. Now, the length of your credit history also impacts your credit score, like I was saying. Now, canceling a credit card can hurt or help your credit history, depending on what happened before you close the account. That's what's key. Now, FICO, the most popular consumer credit report, uses open and closed accounts in its calculations. Closed credit cards remain on your credit history for up to 10 years. So if you made payments on time and paid off the card before you canceled it, this closed account will continue to help your credit score until it falls off your credit history report after the 10-year mark. Now, if you frequently made late payments on a card, it will have a negative impact until it ages out of your credit history.
Now, so what can you do instead of canceling your card? And this might be difficult for some people to do. It's not for me. I almost enjoy doing it. So before canceling your card, call your credit card company and ask about a retention offer. Explain that you're considering canceling your card and do they have any perks that they might be willing to offer you to keep you from canceling. They want you to keep that credit card. Trust me, that's how they make their money. And so they may offer you bonus points. They may offer you miles. They may offer you a 0% APR. They may give you a statement credit or waiver, or they might reduce the annual fee. And it all depends. And they may not, but you'll never know unless you ask. It's always worth it to ask. You will never get if you don't ask. You might also look at downgrading your credit card or looking at another tier. There may be one with a lower fees or better interest rates or has more benefits than you already have. And so they may give that to you instead of losing you as a customer. And those kind of things will not impact your credit score. So make sure you ask the customer service how this will affect your rewards. Make sure you know what it's going to do if you do change tiers. Make sure you understand what you're getting, because they may not always tell you everything, but you need to ask to make sure everything is lined up as you want it to be.
So the question is, though, when should you counsel? Now, many experts advise against counseling credit cards, but occasionally it's unavoidable. Significant life change or accumulating too much debt are good reasons to cancel a credit card. It could also be a good idea to look elsewhere if high interest for a higher, interest rate, or if a lower interest rate, or that it don't have an annual fee, right? So you can, those things, higher interest rates and higher annual fees, man, that affects your financial freedom. That takes a little penny out your pocket. Now, if you're looking for better benefits, it's probably worth contacting the credit card company, inquiring about upgrading your card, because this doesn't count as an account cancellation and won't impact your credit score. But remember to redeem, if you are going to close your credit card, make sure you redeem your unused points and rewards before canceling, or you'll probably lose them. Now, some carriers offer a grace period after canceling to use your rewards, so you must read up on the policy before closing the account. Now, there are occasional exceptions to losing points, including a few cards, like airlines that gives you points, hotels, and because those rewards are posted outside of your credit card company, you might be able to keep those.
Yeah, and the other thing is don't let your credit card just sit idly and not use it. And sometimes you may have one in a drawer that you haven't used for a while, and that can cause you problems. The first thing is you might be susceptible to fraud. Somebody could get your credit card, change the address, and be running up the credit card, and you don't even know about it. So if you have a credit card, make sure you at least use it sometime, okay? And some credit card companies will cancel your card if it hasn't been used in a certain amount of time, okay? And again, you always got to worry about your credit utilization, your credit utilization rate. So make sure you stay on top of that credit card that you have. And credit card companies used to charge inactivity fees, but the Fed stopped that back in 2010. So you don't have to worry about that. But if it has an annual fee, you still have to pay it. So don't let it sit idly. Make sure you use it. We're not telling you to use it and run up a credit card bill and pay a lot of interest. But if you're going to have the card, make sure you use it and pay it off. Don't let it just sit there, because it's susceptible to fraud. And please do not think I spend my whole life worried about fraud. But what I tried to do with that little talk earlier was set up the little safeguards. Once you set your safeguards up, then I don't want to say you can relax, but you can relax a little, because you have safeguards in place.
Now, I'd like to talk about some things you can negotiate. And I just want to give a disclaimer that we get a lot of our information from Kiplinger. So if you want to find out some good information about finances and personal money management, go out there to Kiplinger.com and get a lot of information from Apple too, from Smart News and things like that. We pull from different places, and we like to give that disclaimer. So, now some of the things that you can negotiate, and some of y'all know this, you may know the tactic, and it works well here. You can lower your current interest rate. Now, flirting with the competition. Let's say you get an offer in the mail for a good-looking credit card that has a low interest rate than the card you currently have. You can call the current issuer, right? And, use your most nicest etiquette voice and be cordial, and tell the customer service rep that you consider getting a new credit card so you can have a lower interest rate. Now, some people might think this is dubious. No, it's not. It's all about you getting the low, like we talk about minimizing taxes. You're talking about getting the lowest interest rate that they will charge you that can save you money. Now, if there are any other features too, though, like the new cards, such as no baggage fees, or mention those too, say that you really prefer to stay put since you've been such a loyal customer for so many years. And if you've been a upstanding customer, you have a chance of making this work. Now, if you don't get anywhere with the service rep, check this out. You can speak to the supervisor who actually can make the decisions to do that. And through it all, be polite. Don't get upset and frustrated. But even if you don't succeed on the first try, make a note of the supervisor's name and be the best ever card holder for the 6 months, and then call them again.
Hey, and you can play hardball and you can play hard to get with a new credit card. There's so many offers out there. I just opened a PNC card because they offered me $200 and just $200 free dollars. Now you will have to pay interest on it, but I'm sorry, not interest, but taxes on it. But who cares? That's $200 free dollars. They gave me $400 for opening a checking account and $200 for opening a credit card. And so, but you can actually go to a card issuer and say, hey, I got an offer from Wells Fargo. They're offering $150. What can you do for me? And again, a lot of people are uncomfortable doing that. But if you don't ask, you won't ever get. So be confident, especially if you got a decent credit score. They need you. They want your business. Now, truth be told, they want your business because they want you to charge your credit card up and pay 20-something% interest. And right now they're paying 4 or 5%. So they're making pretty good money. But if you're listening to us, you're not going to do that. But you do need to have credit cards. But you just make sure you bargain to get the best credit card and the most perks that you can get.
Yeah, that's good talk, though. Now, you don't actually get 45-day. You're supposed to be given a 45-day notice when your bank decides to raise your interest rate, and that's according to the Card Act. So, but check this out: the issuer does have to give you 45-day notice. But check this out, though: when your interest rate is an increase, but that just means you have 45 days before you have to pay the higher rate. They actually start accruing your interest at a high rate on any purchase you make 14 days after they've mailed you the notice. So the 50th day after the notice mailed, you start paying interest, the higher interest rate on new purchases. Now, legally, the credit card issuers aren't doing anything wrong, but don't suspect, a few of them are counting on consumers to be aware of this loophole of the Card Act. So as soon as you get your notice in the mail, look at the postmark so you know when the new rate takes effect, because you don't have to pay it until 45 days after they notify you. Isn't that something, though? Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Hey, and I've actually done this. You can get a late fee removed. And
yes, I have too. Yes.
Yeah, I've always paid my credit cards on time, and I always had them come out of a checking account. And I can't remember exactly what happened. I think it was a Discover card, and I had changed accounts, and the payment didn't go on time, and I ended up getting a late fee, and they were trying to charge me interest. And I called them up, and I said, "Hey, look, I've never missed a payment. I've never been late. What can you do for me?" They took off the late fee. They took off the interest charge, and they told me, "Well, we'll do this one time, but we won't do it again." Well, I only need it done that one time. I don't ever plan on being late again. But that just makes the point. You can call and ask, and they want to keep you as a customer. Okay, and if you do call, you can't call and be a jerk or demand it. But you need to be firm and talk about your track record. I've been a good customer for X time. I've always paid my bill on time. Can you give me a break this time? And 9 times out of 10, you'll get that break.
Hey, Joe, a lot of people didn't know this. A lot of people know that you can eliminate or at least decrease the annual fee if you have one. And this tactic is usually presented on an all or nothing. So try to get the whole fee waived. But if it looks like you can't make it happen, ask them to half the fee, to waive half the fee. I know a few people who have succeeded doing this, getting 50% cut off the annual fee. You can also plan ahead and say something like, how about a 50% cut for the next 2 years? I mean, it's just that simple, though. You can't until you can. So you at least got to ask, right?
That's for
See,
sure.
you're in charge. You don't always get what you want, but you can aim high and you can end up with a better place than you were than when you started.
Okay, and the next thing you can do is you can ask to have your credit limit raised, which again, that's going to help your credit utilization. We're not encouraging you to go out and spend it on stuff you don't need to spend it on, but it just helps your credit score. And just call them up and explain to them why you deserve a higher credit rate, higher credit limit. You can talk about your payment history. You can talk about your stable employment, how long you've been working, how you paid all your bills. Maybe there's a reason you want a higher credit limit. But again, you won't get it if you don't ask.
Now, how is your score impacted? The actual point losses can vary widely depending on the individual situation. Now, in general, certain actions and situations may lead to your credit score deductions, like exceeding the credit limit, making late payments exceeding 30 days, entering a debt settlement agreement with a creditor, or losing property to foreclosure, and the big one, filing for bankruptcy.
Okay, let's talk about, we keep saying about your credit score, Good credit can save you money. It can benefit you tremendously. And that's why we make a point. We talk about not doing things to lower your credit score. And I'll start. The first thing, if you have a good credit score, you can, if you need to borrow money, you get a better interest rate. Okay. And that's always important. If you're above 740, you qualify for a lower mortgage rate, you get a lower credit card rate. If you need a personal loan, you'll get a better rate, all because of your credit score.
And that's key. It's the name of the game is to get a better interest rate. Now, qualify for the best credit card deals. Now, strong credit history can help you qualify for the best credit cards, which include low interest rates, rewards, and cash back. Now, as well as helping yourself save money, there are many different perks, and it would encourage you to keep using your credit card. But by using your credit card, this helps your credit. And if you continue to pay on time and keep balances low compared to your credit limits, and you can lower your interest rate or have no interest on your credit card. And this also serves as a temporary fund if the need arises. Or it can allow you to take advantage of any business opportunities. So there's so many advantages of making sure you have strong credit history.
Yeah, another thing it can help you do, which is kind of hard to believe, but it'll help you with your cell phone deal. If you have good credit, a lot of times they'll let you finance a phone at 0% interest if your credit is good. Another advantage of having good credit.
Wow. Yeah, that's good stuff, though. Now, you also need to improve your chances of renting a home if you're renting. So much like a potential lender, a landlord wants to check your payment track history by looking at your credit. And that gives them insight into how likely you are to pay the rent on time every month. Now, if your record has too many negative marks, too many blemishes, getting a dream apartment may be difficult. Even if you're able to rent with bad credit, your landlord may end up charging a higher security deposit or request a cosigner on the lease. And I'm sure you don't want that to happen.
Yeah. And believe it or not, insurance companies now check your credit limit. And for the life of me, I can't figure out the tie between homeowners insurance and your credit limit. But you can get a lower rate on your car and home insurance if you have a good credit score. Not sure that's fair, but that's how it is. I mean, they won't turn you down, but you may get a lower premium if your credit score is high. So that's another reason to have a good credit score.
And for some of your young people who are going out there to start renting on your first time on a home, look, a utility company, might look at your credit report to get a sense of your payment history. Like you said, once again, though, the utility company. But I understand utility because they want to make sure you're going to pay. And that's why the insurance company is the same thing, though. They want to make sure they're going to get their money.
Right.
So if it's up to snuff, the utility company may require a deposit or may ask for a letter of guarantee, which a friend or family member has to agree to pay your bill if you don't. Because the name of the game with why they use credit bureaus, because people want their money.
And the last one is, and again, I'm not sure this is fair, but it's a fact. In some states, employers can request your credit report as part of your job application. And they'll have to get your consent to do that. But in some states, they can do that. And so we got to make the point, because good credit can be felt in so many different parts of your life. It's important that you do what you can to keep your credit score high. Pay your bills on time. Don't run up a lot of credit. Keep your credit card balances within reason, no more than 30% of your credit limits or lower. Obviously, the lower the better.
Oh, you're breaking up again. The accent kind of frozen, though. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, those.
Can hear me now?
Now, yeah, you keep freezing up. You're having technical difficulties. Are you in Charlotte?
I'm in Charlotte. Must be this cheap South Carolina internet.
Well, we were just talking about utility bill. Have you been paying? But look, y'all, look. We hope this helps you understand about why not to cancel that credit card and why holding and keeping that zero balance is good, but you could be holding it and it could go on against you too, especially if you're not using it. And now, though, they will lower your score for not using the credit card activity. The credit card don't charge you a fee, but they'll lower your credit score if you don't use it within 6 months. And that's why it's so important that and it doesn't matter. They don't check with the transaction. It could just be buying a pack of gum. They don't look at the transaction or the level amount of the transaction. They just look and see that was there a transaction on their credit card. Though, right quick before we go to the summary takeaways, this question is always asked to me, and with changing times and the reward points and everything like that. What's your take on people ask me, how many credit cards should I have? I ask that all the time because, the philosophy has changed so much with these reward points and things like that. What's your take?
And that's another one that's different for everybody, because I have a bunch. I have a Costco card that I use at Costco for gas. I have an Amazon card that I use at Whole Foods and Amazon. I have a Fidelity through my brokerage firm that pays me 3% on everything. I have that card. I have a Lowe's card, because if you lose that, you get 5% at Lowe's. I have.
You used to have the airlines when you were traveling.
Oh, I definitely got the airline. I got American card. I got a Hilton card that I use for Hilton, because I only stay at Hilton's and I only fly American. And I'm trying to think. And I got a BMW card, because they give you special breaks on your special deals on your service and stuff. So and my credit score, it's so funny. It had been 850 for the longest time, but when I opened that PNC credit card, it went down to 844, and so I'm like, holy cow, they hit me. But again, I got my $600. So
And
I'm
that's
happy.
still excellent though. 844 is still in the
Oh
excellent
yeah,
range.
it's
Exceptional
still
range.
okay, but
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to go back up shortly because I only use that card to eat up the $200 credit that they gave me, and so I'll probably cancel it in a few months because my credit limits are huge. Like my Fidelity card, the credit limit is like 40,000. My Costco card, the credit limit's like 30,000, and I pay them off every month. I don't carry a balance on any credit card. That's kind of.
And see, that's the key though. That's the key. If you have several credit cards, the name of the game is paying off the balance every month before the cycle hits to charge interest. And everybody's not disciplined like that. And that's why we always say, everybody's personal situation is different than everybody else's. And I say, though, I'm from the old school. I really believe if you're not that good at paying your bills and tracking that, you should have no more than 2 credit cards. If you're not disciplined, you should not have no more than 2. And all those what they call infinity cards, like your club, like Alpha Phi Alpha credit card, and those infinity cards, they if you're not paying your daggone bills on time, that's just costing you more money. And then you got those department store cards like Macy's and Nordstrom's. I'm just not for those though, because although there's go ahead.
They do have a place though, Bob, because a lot of times you'll get notices of special sales, you'll get special perks, and I am a reward nut. I mean, I don't buy anything unless somebody gives me something, and I max out on whatever it is I'm buying. So if it's airlines, I use my airline because I get the most there. If it's hotel, I use the Hilton. If it's Costco, I use Costco. If it's Whole Food or Amazon, I use that card because they give me 5%. So everything I buy, I make sure somebody gives me something for that. And in some cases, I even pay my property tax bill, and they charge, I want to say like 1.8%, but I get 3% back. So I still make 1.2% on that. So everything I buy, I use a credit card and I get money back in some kind of way. But I'm in a position where I can pay my bills off every month. So it's not really a hassle. You can't chase the rewards if you're running up credit card debt, because then the interest rate is beating up or eating up any savings you're getting in the way of rewards.
Right.
You got to find a way to avoid those interest payments.
Right. If they charge you 20% in 19.9 interest, and you get reward points of 1.5, I mean, do the math. And this might
you're losing. You are losing.
You're losing, and this, and don't forget about inflation. You really lose. So, it's my take though. Like those department store cards, they say, "Oh, okay, you get 10% off." But what it does to me, it just seems like it just makes you use the card more in buying clothes. And I'm like, Macy's, Nordstrom's. So Rodney says, he has 2 comments. He said, Doe said he had a limit of 40,000. What would you use that limit on?
I don't.
Okay.
No, that's just what they gave me.
Let me show you what Rodney's first question was before that, though. His first question was, what's the benefit of having a high credit limit if you shouldn't use it because that high credit card interest rate? This is the key to that, Rodney. When people, because I'm asked that all the time when some young guys say, if the utilization rate that you sustain under 30% and you have $1,000, that means you can't use more than $300. You say, what sense does that make, Mr. Bob? Who's going to use $300? This is the take, Rodney. It's not your money. First of all, that credit limit of 1,000, the credit limit of 40,000, that is not Doe's money. And that's what people forget, because they say, well, because it's not your money. It's there. The credit limit, I see it once again, though, is there in case you need it. Say you only got $5,000 in your checking account, savings account, and the furnace goes, and it's cost $7,000 You know, do you want to take the $5,000 and put it? No, you use your credit card and pay it off, and it be in increments where you can pay it off better because you don't want to put your lump sum money on it. So yeah, Rodney, that's always been true.
But Bob, when I did use it, when I had 2 kids in college and 2 in private high schools, and I was paying all my tuitions out of current income and using, you know, stock sales or stock options or bonuses, and sometimes a bill would come due before I could sell my stock, or it wasn't a good time to sell, or my bonus hadn't come in yet, or I didn't want to sell the options, and I would use balance transfers, and those high credit limits came in handy because I was taking the using the balance transfers. In most cases, you were paying either 1.99 fee to do that, but I would do that so I could wait until I got the cash to pay the tuition, because I was getting some heavy bills at right through that period when everybody was in school and I was paying for everybody to be in school, and that's really the only time it came in handy. I never envisioned. I don't see any. I hope there's no situation that comes up where I'll need a $40,000 credit limit, because I can't think of nothing I would buy, you know.
And though one of the rules of thumbs of what not to use a credit card is on tuition. They always say that, and rent, people renting, because usually the rental companies, they charge you 3%, but on the thing about and I lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I was going to say though. Like you said, you hope you never use the 40,000. Remember, it's this there in case you need it for emergencies. And Rodney, I'm glad you asked questions. I've asked that all the time too. What sense does it make if I got all this credit, usable credit limit, and I can't use it because it's not your money? You know, it's there in case you need it for emergency. The roof, and you can't pay $25,000 out of your pocket for the roof. And that's why it's things like that. So good question.
And Bob, and that's how you keep a credit score of 840, 850, is by having large credit limits that you don't use. My utilization rate is extremely low. And so
that's the other good one though.
Yeah, if I need a mortgage, when I moved here, I think my mortgage rate was, I don't know, 3.75. And then I refinanced it. Now it's 2.375. And I get all that because of my credit limit. My credit rating was real high. Payment history was real good. And so, and I'm almost
starting to break up again there, though. But so let's bring this home. But want to remind you something, though, when you said about the utilization rate, the 35% of your credit score is based on your payment history. Like we say, paying on time, 35%, and about 30% is based on your utilization rate. So it's very important that you have those big credit limits, low utilization rate, because that helps your credit score. So we hope that answers the question for you, Rodney. No, let's go to the videos. Let's go to our summary and takeaways. And is it on? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. And the first one that's the whole crux of what we're talking about today. And it's basically just think before you cancel that card. Don't just automatically cancel it. And even take that to most financial transactions that you make. Think before you do it. Think about the effect it's going to have on your debt, your credit score, your wealth. Think before you cancel that card.
And the next one is negotiate, negotiate, negotiate. Everything is negotiable, y'all. Remember that even that tube of toothpaste at CVS, you go, even that's negotiable. People make you think it's not. It's all negotiable. I mean, your interest rate's negotiable. Your credit limit is negotiable. Your annual fee is negotiable. So remember that, and don't be afraid to ask, because what they can tell you, all they can tell you is no. But make sure you use it. But remember, you all, don't be a jerk, and be calm and be polite, and just present your case to them, because trust me, they will keep your business.
Yeah. Good credit saves you money. We detail several ways in which you get lower interest rates. And it's kind of funny because you get to the point where you don't need credit, but you can get all the credit you want. But it's just good credit saves you money in so many ways that can add up over your lifetime.
The last one is manage your credit score. That's the most important number that follows you all the way to your grave. Your credit score is so important, and it's all based on the default rate on which they think they will be able to get their money from you. And the better you manage your score, like Dote said, the more opportunities. I mean, I'm talking about even jobs now. Even jobs look at your credit score. It could be the make or break you get a job or not get a job. So really, really pay attention to that. And Dote, just want to say, isn't that a pretty colorful chart I did this time? I'm kind of proud of that one.
You are definitely talented when it comes to the presentation stuff. That's pretty neat.
Well, this is one of my favorites, man. You know, I know it's not very colorful. It's the LGBTQ plus. So with that, I couldn't resist. All right, you all. Look, thank you. This is our 147. Next week will be 148, and it will be May 2nd. Dope will be. Is that right? Yeah, May 2nd. Man, Dope, May here already. Good grace, can you believe that, man? Can you believe that? No, my sister said your utilization rate must be kept low. Just try not to use them. We appreciate it always. Thanks, Nolia. And look, as we always do, we got to do our roll call. Dope. Garnett, thank you. What's up, Garnett? Modestine, South Carolina Mo. She's down there in South Carolina now, enjoying that weather. I know you are. Good that you're still here. Hello, my wonderful sister Nolia. How are you? And my wonderful sister Gloria. Good to see y'all. And what's up now? Now you know what, you always in there and giving us good comments for our show. Thank you now, Dodie. And did I mention my sister Gloria? Yeah, I did. And I don't know, but Linda's probably had technical difficulties. Rodney L. Madison, the senior, thenoteexperience.com. And Rodney is asking Dote that you take a look at that, which he's, did I send it to you? I think I sent it to you, about Note Experience as an alternative investment. Carl Chapman, what's up, bro? Always good. You always there on it. They appreciate that. So everybody, I think that's everybody. Howdy dotty. Thank you so much. And Dope, my word quote of the day is,
I get nervous when you do this, but go. Okay, I'm ready.
It is much better to have loved than to never have been loved before.
It's time to go.
I'm trying to display my heart, man. Look, y'all have a good day. We look forward to y'all. See you next week. Same bat time, 8 p.m. The FITT Show. Financial information for today and tomorrow. Share with your friends, please. Have a good one.